stress right now. A lot of us are going through terrible personal experiences. And it's okay, we have to understand what is happening and we have to break through the message we got with the last full moon was right now. It's either we break through or we break down. And we are not going to break down because we are positive thinkers and we are success students and we know what to do to go through the difficult times. So I have some information here and Anna is going to hopefully soon bring me the rest of it because I couldn't write it all down. Now this full moon is a moon of transformation and rebirth. For the last 6 months, we have been asked to identify what is true of true value in our lives and release what is not. So I'm going to read to you what was the message we got 6 months ago. And we were asked at that time to check in ourselves, to see what is valuable in our lives right now, in our thoughts, in our relationships, in our careers, and let go that has no value. Earth is caught in conflict, whether you look in a personal level or a national or international. Do you have a cough?
Try not to cough.
That's okay. Have something. Have something.
Sick, I got back.
You want? In general, right now, where you look at the news, is caught in conflict. And this full moon is the opportunity to embrace peace and create harmony. We saw the news that come through the last few weeks are very scary and very disturbing from around the world and from personal, from the counseling I do and the sessions I give. I see there's an awful lot of upheaval in many lives. People are meeting immense challenges. I'm treating very young kids with severe depression and suicidal tendencies, so young that it scares me.
Wow.
Pre-teenage kids. I see people who have been diagnosed with cancer in their very early 20s. Like things totally out of... There it is, my paper.
Sorry.
Thank you, Anna. Thank you, my savior.
Sorry. On the middle of the way, I found out I forgot to copy.
Yeah. Okay, thank you very much.
I made one more. Okay.
Welcome back.
How was it? Very good, very good.
All right. Double figure that too. Yeah, I'll wait for you. Okay, now coming back to what I was reading. Down there, yonder. If I can have your attention, please. Now we said we are caught in conflict, whether on the personal level, our thoughts are in turmoil. Most of us anyway. And the full moon is the opportunity to embrace peace and create harmony. At the next new moon, with a solar eclipse, a new cycle of 6 begins. Remember what I read before. We are facing now what we were asked 6 months ago, to look within and see what is of value and what is not in our lives and let go of what we don't need. Now with the next new moon and with the solar eclipse that's going to happen, we start a new cycle of 6. It will be about personal empowerment and building a new spiritual foundation guided by the universe. This powerful full moon of transformation begins to complete the lessons of the last 6 months. So this moon now will start to complete. What did we learn? In those last 6 months that we're asked to look within and see what is valuable in our lives, what matters. Many people had to go through terrible experiences, but through these experiences we see who matters, what is important in our life. And now we have to close this chapter. Have we made decisions? Have we made changes? Have we let go that fears, procrastinations, feelings that don't serve us anymore? Have we released? Now this is the full moon yesterday that begins to complete the lessons of the last 6 months. We say begins because a full moon lunar eclipse is about completion. A new moon solar eclipse on May 9 influences us until November 3rd. So with the new moon, the 9th of May, we start a new cycle, a new program for our lives that it's going to take us until the 3rd of November. The theme will be become spiritually empowered and walk our path with integrity and love. We also have a second full moon with lunar eclipse on May 24th, 25th, depending on where you are, that will actually complete the lessons of the last 6 months. It is also a super moon. We know when we have a super moon, we have discussed it many times, the energies are immense because the moon is closer to the earth than normally. And because it is closer to the earth, it pulls on the crust of the earth and creates powerful earthquakes, tsunamis, and volcano eruptions. Because we are energy bodies, we are water bodies, it pulls on our emotions too. So everything we have inside, whether it is fear or sadness or anger or hate, we feel it much exaggerated. So we have to be prepared. We are going to be bombarded with 3 eclipses within a month. This is a very powerful energy. We have already seen the earthquakes, the devastation, the bombs people put. People were arrested in Canada because they wanted to derail a train. I heard yesterday a client told me a bank was robbed on Sunday, people were hurt. All these things are going to be accelerated because people who are disturbed, they are going to be pushed beyond their limits. How we meet all these energies around us, remember, they are there to force us to transform. And the way we have to meet them, as always, is go within and stay in a calm state of mind. Remember the lesson of last Friday, whoever was here last Friday, was the lesson of Noah's Ark and the flood. And what did we say? A flood symbolizes a flood out of your mind, the negative emotions, the negative thoughts, the negative feelings, and go into your ark, which symbolizes a place of protection. Noah means a peaceful, calm state of mind. So go within with a peaceful, calm state of mind to face the flood. And the reason I gave you this lesson last Friday was because of the cases I see every week, the extreme upheaval in people's lives right now. Some people literally feel that the carpet has been pulled from under their feet and everything goes wrong. And this is the time, more than any other time, to go within, to create a calm, peaceful state of mind, and allow, remember, the flood lasted for 40 days and 40 nights, which in Bible symbology means a very long time. So don't think, okay, I'll meditate, pray, and tomorrow the problem will be gone. It won't be gone. But you have to stay there and insist. And no matter what happens around you, stay grounded in the energy of love and integrity. It's about making you a better person, a stronger person. Now let's go back to the last 6 months and revisit the message. The message we received with a new moon, November 13, 2012, is about healing your deepest fears so you may find your inner and outer power. This is not about the ability to control others as power is understood. This is the opportunity to enter great mystery and discover who you really are at the core of your being. When you enter the mysteries, you discover you are a divine soul and have gifts to share that will support healing for humans and for the earth. That was the message we got 6 months ago, the November 13, 2012. Heal your deepest fear so you may find your inner and outer power. And remember now, with this moon, people have a struggle for power and control. This is the lesson we are learning. Within couples, within families, within countries, within society, the struggle is for control. And I see people changing looks and making faces. I stepped on some toes, I think.
It's a mother-daughter thing. It's the mother trying to control the dog.
I have no idea what
We have some mother-daughter things here today. But whether it is mother-daughter or father-son or sister-sister or friend-friend, there is a lot of conflict right now. And so it is important to understand issues we have about how we use our power or how we abuse our power or how we allow other people to control us. Power has nothing to do with controlling anybody else, but controlling our emotions, controlling our thoughts, learning how to go to that inner state of peace where all power is. A most powerful person is not a person that shows it in outer ways. A powerful person can be someone like Yoda in Star Wars, a tiny little person that looks like what and can lift the spaceship with his finger, because this is power. It has nothing to do with size. It has nothing to do with outside success. It's an inner quality. And this is opportunity to enter great mystery. That was the 6 months ago, right? The opportunity to enter great mystery and discover who you really are at the core of your being. Because that's where all the power is, at the core of your being. When you enter the mysteries, you discover you are a divine soul and have gifts to share that will support healing for humans and the earth. This is your true power. We are all here for a purpose. We have discussed that many times, and the purpose is to help improve conditions on the planet, to help as many people as possible to succeed, to share the gifts that you have, the secrets that you have, with as many as possible. The Hopi elders have shared their wisdom with us, what they get through the divinations for many years now. And they tell us there is a river flowing and it's very sweet. And this is not the time to try to hold on the shore because you are going to perish. This is the time to go to the middle of the river and take your deep, bold strokes and lift your head and see who follows you and rejoice. Because everyone will not follow you. But you be careful and you try to pull with you to safety as many as you can. Now we have to understand as humans that we are spiritual beings. And as spiritual beings, we have to offer to honor our spirit. So far, we've been acting out of ego, and we have created conflict, separation, and suffering. And we are asked to find our true selves. So 6 months ago, the moon asked us to go within and find ourselves, find the core of our being. What makes me tick? What makes me jealous? What makes me angry? What makes me sad? What makes me depressed? And heal this. Discover your true power, because bless you. At the core of your being, you are a spirit, and the spirit is in connection with the universe. You get questions, you ask questions, you get answers. When you go, hey there, look how lucky you are. You are 3 today. He's the staple. This is Adrian, this is Paul.
Hello, how you doing? Thank you.
And who else is it that you don't know? No one. You know everybody else. Now, when you take into consideration that 6 months ago we were asked to go within, to find our true nature, to release our fears, to let go that which no longer serves us, and find our true strength and power in our core of our being. Now this moon is saying, okay, you had 6 months. What have you done about it? This is the time to solve it. This is the time of completion. And we have the next 4 weeks until the next move to finish this lesson. This is it. Because with the new moon, on the 9th of May, we move on and embark on another lesson, which is how to develop our spiritual empowerment and our spiritual ability to heal ourselves and heal others and heal the earth. This is what this moon is about. And that's why so many people feel out of sorts and they feel conflict, because this is no time to waste anymore. We are being pushed. The energies around us are forcing us to take a saner view, to let go, to trust. Something else. It says this is a very busy month astrologically. We have a new moon eclipse in Taurus on May 9th. The theme of this eclipse is about the release of tension, a situation. Now listen to that. This happens with a new moon, the 9th of May. I know many of you because I know what each one of you is facing, not each one of you, but many of you that I work privately with. I know you're facing challenges right now. And it says, on May 9th, will influence us until November 3rd, 2013. The theme of this eclipse and the full moon eclipse of May 25th is about the release of tension. A situation that has been triggering, lingering, yes, I'm sorry. A situation that has been lingering will suddenly clear, but it will involve letting go of that, of what no longer serves us. Now, I know many of us are facing situations that are very troublesome right now, and they have been there for some time. And what this new moon and the full moon of next month is going to help us, something will happen that the situation will clear. But in order for us to clear it, we have to let go what doesn't serve us. What doesn't serve us is the fear that things might go wrong. What doesn't serve us is the anger or the feeling or righteousness, that we are right and the person is wrong. All these things we have to let go and stay in the center of integrity, in the place of love, integrity. Yes, yes, Justin.
Sorry to interrupt you, but like, how do you stay in the place of integrity if maybe, like, for example, even if you know you're right and the other person is wrong, but the argument is just to, like, you know what I mean? Like, there's some things you just, the only other thing that I can do right now is just ignore it and not speak to the person in total, because every negative, but is that not a negative thing? Is it not interacting?
Not necessarily, because it also says that if you have a relationship and you try to heal it and you try to transform it and it doesn't change, then you can leave the relationship and move forward. Now, depending what the relationship is. Like if it is a friend, you can say stay away, but without anger, without feeling like a victim, without feeling that you have been wronged in this situation. That's why it's very important to meditate. When you go into your center, and that is the lesson for today, is the Tower of Babel. And that's what I'm going to talk about, how to turn a failure into success through Bible symbology, and even better, how to avoid failure altogether. What makes people fail? I told you before, the Bible is one of the greatest success books ever written, but it was never taught to us this way. We take literally. There was Noah and there was a flood. In the Bible, every word, every statement, it's a success secret. But in order for the teachers of success to find that out, they have to decipher the words, to go to the root meaning of every word and see what it means. And so what does the symbology mean? And so this is a very powerful symbology that we get from the Tower of Babel, the descendants of Noah, and how it can help us in the modern days, and what can we do to avoid the failure. So far, so good. Do you have any questions about it?
It's really hard to do.
Yes, it is. It is very hard to do, to move to this place of love and acceptance. When
To let go, like,
yeah, to let go when you know you're right. When you know that the other person has wronged you and you know you're right.
yeah.
The other thing I want to tell you right now, the energies are so sharp and accelerated. When you think of something, it happens very fast. And that is why it is good, yes.
Well, I was gonna say, can I give you the example? Because I don't know if you guys are having the same thing, because you guys always are pretty much, I think, are in the same boat as me, but the biggest thing that I'm having the problem with in the argument is why I want to be this way and not, like, as a consumer or working in, like, I don't want to work as a bill collector and make tons of money and stuff like that. And this is the argument I'm having with my parents, so that what they're saying is they don't want me to do what I'm doing, as they'd rather have me do something else, which will take me off my whole path of what I want to do, because I don't want to be that anymore. Like, I got away from everything. So that's, and that their argument is you need to do this because you have to. Like, that's the whole thing. You don't have to live life like that, right? So that's.
No, you don't have to live life the way someone else expects you to live it. But maybe your parents, I don't know how your parents think, but maybe they think that it is good in life to have ideals, but it is good also to have an income, because you need to eat, whether you like it or not.
Well, the thing is, like, I don't even need to live at my parents' house, but I do because of other financial issues that they're having. And the thing is, like, I give them their money, I do their stuff that I don't want to get into the whole thing and make this. I'm just trying to say, like, the whole situation is, like, that's the only thing that's been letting my fuse off lately, and then when I ignore the situation, it's just like, it's only more for my father and my mom. Like, my mom will just ask me to do, she's like, why don't you just do this, why don't you just do this? My dad is like, it's tough.
It's
Like,
not a
tough.
control thing.
You know my dad.
Okay, and that's why your dad's that way with you, because they're buddies. His dad and your dad are buds, and they just want the best for their kids. So if they come off as being controlling, it's because it's coming from love. I'm just saying, it's good.
No,
Just because they're worried for you. I mean, I get it.
My dad has a different mental aspect now ever since his meningococcal meningitis and the surgeries that he had. He's a different person. So the anger is just like, it's like you could walk by, it doesn't matter who it is in the house, and just because he's in the office and he doesn't have his door closed in the office, shut up, blah, like, it's just like, it's like that. Like, and it's got to the point where my mom can't even deal with it, and the thing is, it's just like, it's debilitating for the family, but everyone loves them so much that they can't, you know what I mean? Like, you can only tell them to F off.
So,
You know what I mean? Like, so many times before the end of, you know what I mean? No, I'm just saying that's what happens. That's what happens in
If you
that
know
household.
there is something wrong, you have to be patient, and most of all, you have to understand and be grateful that you live in your father's house, that he provides you with a roof and the food and everything else, and that is a reason to be grateful for. Now, if he has his own issues, I understand, but as long as you are under his roof, have gratitude for what he gives you. Now, as a parent, because I'm a parent too, I also understand that every parent wants their children to be financially secure, because specifically if his health is not very good, he feels what will happen to you if he's not around. You have to be able to support yourself, and you have to be able to take care of yourself. And sometimes I have students who are doing extremely well, and like I have a girl who's so gifted, and she's getting a master's in psychology right now, but she wants to be a writer, and she wants to be a songwriter, and she wants to do this, and she wants to do that, and she cries, oh, I abandoned my dreams. You don't abandon your dreams, but you have to be realistic. You need an income. You need to have a life, you need to be able to support yourself, and in your spare time and recreation, you can start writing your books or do your photography or whatever else you want to do. But to have a respectable living, this is a must do. And being a boy too, I guess they worry about you, because what are you going to do with your life?
Well, that's the thing. Like, it's not like I'm not doing bad. I mean, they get their money what they need. It's just because I'm not. Like, my debt settlement business was lucrative. It's ridiculous money when I put my time and effort into it, but I don't want to be into, like, you do debt settlement, right? Just dealing with someone else's debt, just dealing with another collector. At first it was fun for a year, right, because you're making a lot of money, but after a while it's just a pain in the ass. Sorry, I mean, it's because you're not just, because you're not just taking on your client's problems, but when you deal with the collector themselves, maybe they've had like an hour or 2
It's
hours
the
or
energy.
3 months
It's
of
a very
bad.
negative
Yes, but
energy.
Yeah.
maybe you can find another job that you like it better.
Well, no, I mean my wheatgrass thing is fine. I'm just not making as much money as it was before, and this is why they're like, no, you got to do this. And it's like, look, you know, no.
Yeah, well, I don't know, you have to
No, it's cool.
realize
Again, I
that
don't
we
want to. I don't
cannot
want to.
force our ideas on someone else. As
The whole
long
thing is
as-
because I should, in a sense, I'm not, I promised myself I'm not going to go back to doing that. I'm going to keep focusing on what I'm doing because I don't want to lose the steam on what I'm doing. I will get this community up and running, and I will spread the good news about wheatgrass and get the people that need to be on it, whether it's for their health reasons or that's what I'm going to do. That's what I love. Like, at first, I love helping people, and that's why I was doing debt settlement, because I help people. But after a while, it's just like, this is now what I want to do, because it's more important to help people health-wise than help people financially, because to tell you the truth, 90% of the people that I help, 30 days from the time I help them, they're just doing the exact same thing. There is 10% of the people who are legit, like, families who really took a tough, turn somewhere. And they are grateful and they'll get back on their feet. But 90% of the people that I deal with, they're just delaying the inevitable. They don't really
I
want it.
know, but
And you can lead a helpers to water, but you can't make them drink it. So you can put someone in perfect credit position, settle all their debts, get them back on track where they're only just paying a first and a second mortgage, free credit lines, everything like that. But I'm telling you, it's and then you say, don't do this, you shouldn't do this, and here's a whole bunch of free information on how to even get better at what you're doing, and they're not gonna do it. It's a habit of like
I
society.
know, but that happens just in every kind of work. I do the same work, do in a different way. And sometimes people listen, like I was saying earlier about Kim and Lucy, who took the class, followed to a T, and they turn out to be big successes. And there are other people who don't. And you can eat your heart out and tell them over and over again, and they don't. But this line of work, I'm very blessed because I don't have to support myself. And I don't have to support my family. Otherwise, it's not something that can give me a living. So if you want to live your life and not be dependent on your parents, it's very good to help people, to encourage people to do all these things I'm doing, but I have the luxury to do it because I don't have to support myself. If I have to support myself, I have to find something more profitable to do because someone has to pay the bills. And you cannot live, you just turned 30, you cannot live with your parents forever, and I'm sure they worry about it.
No, again, I mean, I've been there for 3 years. I mean, I was out of my house since I was like 17. I was back because I asked to come back, and now it's sort of like I'm there because I could just be renting somewhere else. Like, I don't have enough money to put it down for a mortgage, but I could be renting somewhere else, or helping with a huge financial burden, plus my sister's in university, which cost them $200,000 for med school, plus there's $273,000 outstanding to Revenue Canada for an HST thing from like way back when my dad was in the hospital. So like, we can't even do a refinance on the property to get the money out for my sister to do for her school. So my mom's like working around the clock. I'm working to pay mortgage for my parents and stuff. You know what I mean? So it's deeper than just like
you,
me.
I don't know the details, but
No, that's what I'm saying. Like
what I'm saying is that while you live with your parents, you have to show support, like respect. You don't F off your father or anybody else.
No.
This is not a way to treat anybody. And that's what I say, go within and meditate. If your father goes off the roof, go in your room and stay alone and meditate and be calm. Because if you get angry, if you get resentful, if you feel like a victim, it's going back to haunt you.
Yeah, no, and it sucks because as soon as I feel it coming on, like it just, like it's like the harder I try to like stop it down, I want to yell out loud.
That's
or
why
something.
you go away.
Yeah.
You go out and walk until you get it out of your system and calm down. A very angry state of mind is not a successful
I
state.
haven't got like that in like 3, 4, or 5 years where I've lost my temper like that was crazy.
Well, the old issues are surfacing up, so let's be aware. Does anyone else have anything to say? Okay.
No, we're all in this. in some way.
Yeah, Diana.
So I took care of somebody this past couple of days at work. She was an IV cocaine addict, and she was going through withdrawal, and she had an infection. And I thought I had compassion for everybody, and then I got to that situation. She called me every name in the book. The C word, told me F off.
Don't take
You're
it
this.
personally.
Oh no, I didn't. But you know, it's hard when it's 4 in the morning, and you're just like, really, you're calling me the C word when I'm trying to take care of you? And it's hard because you know it's not their fault, and she's had a rough life, and she doesn't have a good relationship with her kids, and it was a very there was a lot of family dynamics, but I was just so angry, and I felt awful, but I was just angry. I was like, why am I? When I had someone dying in the next bed that I was taking care of, was young, had a family, and you know it's like this person didn't choose this, and you're choosing this, and how do I cope with that? Because it was
Because
very, very
you
difficult.
understand the anger is yours.
Yeah, I know it is.
The anger is inside of you. She's only the instrument that brought it out.
Yeah.
So go within and say, why am I angry? What is it about? Again, remember you were angry at the woman who was a drug addict and the baby. And why? Because I said, you felt the baby had no choice in this matter. And now you said the same word, you chose this. So someone around you is making choices that you don't agree with. And you have this anger.
It's true.
See, you have this anger inside you, and
It's a
that's
control thing I have. I don't know. It's something I'm trying. I've been working on it every day. I'm a Gemini.
yeah. Because Adriana is a nurse, so it is a hard job to begin with. But you cannot, like these people, what they scream, what they say, they are not responsible for what they say. They don't know. But you, that you become angry, is because you have a pain body about it yourself. And that's when it's the time to go within. That's why Socrates said the unexamined life is not worth living. You don't act out of unconsciousness and lash out and say, oh, she's angry, I'm angry, or no. You are an enlightened person. You are a student of success secrets. Sit down and you cannot fool yourself. And you cannot say this horrible woman, she made this choice and she has to live with no. You say, it's about me. My reaction, it's about me. You have to learn who you are. That's why I say when you enter the mysteries, you go to the core of your being and find who you are. That means you figure out what makes you tick, what makes you angry. And say, why am I getting angry now? What does that have to do with me? In which way I'm angry in a situation like that in my life now for the choices that other people make and makes me angry. I judge them because you judge her. Instead of being there like an angel of mercy and minister to her, you started judging her and condemning her, and that's not your job. And that's
I
why.
was okay at first, but then after 4 days, it was. I didn't know. I'll fully admit I started judging. I started being angry. I started.
The universe is
who I
testing
am.
you, remember? The moon is saying, look at yourself, lady, and see what you have in there that doesn't serve you. The anger doesn't serve you, and you have to let it go. The fear doesn't serve you. Feeling that other people, like I said, I have many cases on this table right now, right? Myself included. Feeling that other people are taking advantage of you or using you in any way. It doesn't serve you. And the situation is going to come and hit you smack on the face right now. And you have to face it. And you say, this is me. I have this problem. Do I want it? No. I have 4 weeks to work with it. And 4 weeks to clear it. So I can be free to go to the next level, which is spiritual empowerment. Do I want to get stuck here in my self-righteousness, in my judgment, in my feeling I'm right and I can do whatever I want, or you have no place in my life, or get out of my face? Or I want to heal the aspect of me that creates the experience. It's my thoughts that create my experience. That's what we are going to talk about, the Tower of Babel story. That ties so well with this case here. The descendant, last week we talked about the ark and the flood and what it means. The descendants of Noah moved east, and they came after the flood and everything. The descendants of Noah moved east, and they found the plain of Simar. They found the plain of Simar, and they dwelt there. In that one sentence is all the secrets for failure in our lives. Very powerfully put. The descendants of Noah. Noah, we said, means a peaceful, calm, healing state of mind. The descendants of Noah should symbolize the same state of mind. They moved east. In Bible, in symbology of the biblical symbology, east means going within. But they went into a plain. A plain means a very low state of mind. Because in Bible, mountains symbolize exalted states of mind, happy states of mind. A plain symbolizes a very low, depressed state of mind. And they dwell there. This is the secret for failure, right away. So when the descendants of Noah, that was a calm, peaceful state of mind, they went east, which means within, and they started thinking their secret thoughts. Well, in the Bible, from the beginning of time, there was even the ancient Egyptians knew before the biblical times that your thoughts create your reality, create health or create disease. And the wise Solomon said, as a man thinketh within himself, so he is. So if you go within and you think your secret thoughts, and you think they're secret, but pretty soon they are not be secret, whether success or failure, they're going to be shouted from the rooftops. Because whatever you think within, your deepest thoughts are going to manifest as results in your life. Whatever you think about, feel, it's going to become your reality. So they thought their thoughts in a very low state of mind, in a plane of Simar. Simar means a divided state of mind. So if you stay within and you start thinking negative thoughts, and they gain power on you. That right now, everybody's thinking negative thoughts, no matter how hard. Maybe Kim is the exception. Because everything is going so well. Yes, thank God everything is going very well.
Kim is like the one in the class that, the one, what's it called? The one, the teacher's pet. Kim is the teacher's pet.
Not the teacher's pet. She was the one who followed the route. So anyway, when you stay in your within and you think negative thoughts, and the negative thoughts keep accumulating. Remember, a plane means a low state of mind, in a very depressed state of mind. Now, is it a sin to be in a low state of mind? Of course not. Remember what I said, flood it out. It is very natural. In our lives, we are going to go through periods that nothing seems to work, and we are very depressed, we are very sad, we are very upset. But don't dwell there. When you feel sad, when you feel depressed, stay quietly, work out your feelings. You know that a deep cleansing and a deep healing is taking place, and you know that you're going to move on to higher levels. But don't dwell there. This is where the danger is. That day in and day out, you feel depressed. This young woman, young as she is, she knows how to ask help. And though she's so well versed and she knows how to go to the alpha levels and programs and does everything, when things go wrong, says, help me because I lost my way. And this is an incredible gift to have, to know how to ask for help. You know when you are outnumbered, outclassed, you have lost whatever it takes, and you need someone to bring you back to the right path. This is an amazing thing. But if you stay there day in, day out, week in and week out and dwell, this is a very bad thing. So they went to this low state of mind, in a divided state of mind, because when you start thinking, because Shimar means a divided state of mind. If you think in a state of depression, the good and the bad, and you give emphasis to the bad, and you give emphasis to the evil appearances in your life, you create division in your mind. And so, in that low state of mind, they decided to build a tower to reach God. They became very ambitious, and they thought, I'm better than everybody else. Remember, this moon is about control and power. Many people misuse power. They think, I am powerful if I have everybody shaking in front of me and I give orders and I bark orders, and that makes me feel good. This is not power. So they started to build a tower and they wanted to reach God. Another secret of failure, they used bricks and slime as material. They couldn't build it. They were trying to build it and it was collapsing, and they were trying to build it and it was collapsing. Because if you try to force your good, they didn't ask for help, they didn't ask God's advice like Noah always did and the biblical people. They decided to build a tower to reach God without, on their own. And so they couldn't do it because they used earthly materials. They tried to build good for themselves. They tried to build a tower, which means an accomplishment, out of material good, not employing their mind, not asking for divine ideas, not asking for help. And slime, not mortar, but slime, which means very inferior material. I'm trying to build a success. I'm trying to accomplish a goal. Do you have any questions?
No.
Do you have any doubts?
Not at all.
Any arguments?
No?
Okay.
It's very clear.
I can continue. They use this inferior material, and of course the tower could not hold. It kept on falling and it kept on falling. Babel means confusion. So they created confusion in their mind. And confused thinking creates confused results, creates confused living, creates confused standards of living, and creates confused results. And also they were using as stuff to build it, material things, earthly things, not higher ideas, no higher inspiration, no intuition, and very slimy stuff to keep that materialistic thoughts together. So they failed. And God, which in the Bible always means the mind action, the law of mind action, in other words, what we will call today the law of attraction, brought to them what they feared the most. God got angry at them, and the tower fell, and they were confused, and they scattered, and they couldn't understand each other. They started talking in languages different, so they couldn't communicate with each other. So this story tells us very clearly what not to do right now. Right now we are asked to go within and think uplifted thoughts. We have to try to enter the great mysteries, which means connect with the universe, connect with the universal forces. By the way, I had two ladies calling me, and I'm going to teach a Reiki 1 class the Sunday after Easter, our Easter. I think it's the 12th. We start the Reiki 1 class. So, when we start thinking negative thoughts, and instead of flooding them out, as we learned last week, we dwell there in a very low state of mind, and we accumulate the negative thoughts, and we try to force our good instead of staying quietly and asking for divine intelligence to bring us the right idea about the situation and how we can solve the situation. A very good thing in this symbology, coming back to you, Justin, is to stay quietly and meditate and say, divine intelligence, you know the situation at home, you know how I want to live, give me a divine idea, give me a solution, and let it come now. And meditate on that, and the solution will come to you either in a dream or a hint of inspiration, or through the words someone else will tell you. You will get an idea how to have both parties, satisfy your family and satisfy yourself. It is not impossible, but the mind is like a screen. If you say this cannot be done, it's like lowering a mental screen, and you are never going to get out. But if you stay quietly and say, show me how it can be done, then the ways will be revealed to you. People will come, information will come to you, things will work out. Now I'm open to ideas. No, there's no ghost. Okay, I'm open to ideas and discussion.
How may the answer come? Like, what can you
It
expect?
comes to you during your meditation, or you're going to have a dream, or as you walk, or as you have a bath, an idea will pop into your head when you are relaxed and you don't expect it. You will know. The answer will always come. When you say, Divine Intelligence, show me the answer to this situation, and let the divine idea come now. It will come. It will come when you least expect. That's when you don't try to force your good. Sometimes you try to force your children or your husband to do something that you think is for their good, and you try to force your own will into the situation. And that's when you create confusion. See, now Justin is confused and he's upset and angry with the situation at home. But if his parents stayed and prayed and said, okay, we have a situation, let's try to find a solution for everybody. Because otherwise they try to force him to follow their side of you. He wants to have his, and creates confusion, fight, and anger. And that leads nowhere except to pain and suffering. We have to sit down and talk things through and ask for guidance, ask for ideas.
Sophia, what if you're in the middle and the other two are
Be
going
fine,
at
be fine, be
it?
fine. That's it.
And what are you supposed to do? Like, do you try
Pray.
to control the situation?
Meditate.
Right?
Adrian,
Push,
Push.
thank you.
push.
Okay,
Push.
not
Pray
so
until,
right now. Like,
pray until something happens.
Sophia, one time, when Dyer had a problem, he called Deepak Chopra, and he tried to explain the problem, and Deepak Chopra said, no, wait, meditate, but no, meditate. And I let him talk, and then he started my lesson.
Yes, when what Adrian says, what I have been telling you for months, you have a problem and you don't know what to do about it,
Right.
Push.
Something happens.
which means pray until something happens.
Yeah.
Don't give up. If you are caught in the middle, remember what to do. Get out of the desperation and dare to think happy thoughts and visualize the finished result. Instead of complaining, instead of talking, instead of finger pointing, instead of feeling helpless in the middle like the monkey, stay quietly, meditate, and envision the result the way you want it to be.
So should I stay in that situation and pray while they're going at it, or do I go in the room like?
No idea. Sophia would tell them the story of Buddha. No, the story of Buddha. Buddha was going to journey with his disciple. Everywhere he used to go, they swear at him, they called him bad names, whatever. But he wouldn't answer. So on the end of the journey, the disciple asked Buddha, but they swear at you, they call you names, you never answer. And he said to her, here, I'm going to give you this gift. If you don't accept it, to whom the gift belongs? He said, Master, to you. Why should I take their problem? He said, it's their problem. So now, if you have people bothering you, don't think it's you, leave them alone.
Yes, it's there. That's why, so when you get angry and yell at people,
Take their problem.
It's hard, yeah.
when you get angry
It's a
and you
generation.
yell and scream at people, you dump on them your emotional garbage. And so the person doesn't have to accept this gift. But because there are two people in your family and you love them both, what you do is you do two things. You can do both of them or either or. Either see the rose between them and ground the rose into the ground, see literally roots coming out. Like if I see Adrian and Paul fighting now and arguing together, I can close my eyes and see a rose, and I see the rose very clearly. I use all my imagination, the color, the drops of dew on it, and I draw roots and ground it to the core of the earth. Or I can put the heart of Jesus between them, and I see pulsing and spreading its beautiful light. And I say the love of Jesus heals this situation now. You can do both. But it's amazing how right away the energy changes. You diffuse the energy. And by the way, because I have you here now and I might forget, next Friday there is no class because it's our Good Friday. And so we go to church.
Thursday we have to have a
And Thursday we don't have a prayer group. But Friday there is no class, we can come back the week after. Yeah, because we go to church. Yeah, so anyway, coming back to the class. when you have this situation and you see two people arguing, whether, even if you go to the bank and you see two people arguing, if you remember, if you are in the traffic and someone next to you or honks the horn or becomes angry at you, put a rose between you. And right away that protects you. The rose has been used since times immemorial as a symbol of protection. We don't know what it is, but it is. If you put the rose between two people that they are fighting, the situation diffuses, but also protects you from the energy of the fight of the other person. Like if someone is very angry at you, put a rose between you. Even in your thoughts, if you know this person is angry, put a rose between you. Or if a person gives you trouble, place the heart of Jesus in their heart and see it pulsing, its beautiful light, diffusing the situation, diffusing, and trust. It's not going to happen overnight. Remember the symbology of the 40 days and 40 nights. It means a long time.
And,
So
and it will end one day, right?
It will end.
It will end one day.
Yes.
Solution to every problem.
And then we're gonna grow
Yeah.
up and have
It may
kids.
even go further than 40 nights.
Yeah.
Well, 40 nights mean a long time.
Oh, yes.
The symbology in Bible is very important. It's like when Abraham was told he would have a son, and he was 99, and Sarah was 93 or something. And in human terms, you don't have a child when you're 99.
Did you watch the Bible? It was on TV.
No.
And because I watched it, but because I heard stories, I knew what was going on. Because you told us the story of that
Yes.
Abraham, and you told us about. And as the movie's going, well, I remember Sophia telling me that. I know exactly what's going to happen. Because I watched the movie. I watched the whole
It would
story.
be good to open the Bible and read it.
What's the
sometime.
point?
It is
And
still,
you do it so much better.
it is still one of the best stories.
I've tried to read the Bible. I find it so difficult.
Yeah.
The only reason why I know what Sophia is talking about, because I do go to church, and of course the priest preaches
In the
on it.
gospel, and
Exactly.
Yes,
But other than that, I find it very difficult to understand.
Yeah.
yes, because it is not explained
Yeah.
in the way it's supposed to be explained. So, but we are seekers of truth. So we look deeper and we find the way.
Sorry, you're
And
talking about Abraham that was 99, so.
Yes, he was 99. So he believed and he hoped when there was no hope. Because when you're 99, chances are you're not going to have a child. But the symbology again is it might take a long time. Someone might fight a disease, and I tell them you have to believe. And they go and they have their chemotherapy and they have their test and they're getting worse and worse. And I tell them, believe, no matter how hopeless it seems, no matter how it feels that all hope is lost. Remember, Abraham believed and he hoped when there was no hope. And he did have his son, which means you are going to have what you've been promised, what you've been praying for. Even if it seems that all is lost, you are going to have it when you have your faith and you believe. Abraham again means faith and an exalted state of mind. Like if you have faith and you believe in a happy state of mind, because if you say, yes, I believe, but you are depressed like a dog, it's not going to happen. Last week we did a meditation with what? With intention and vibration. And we said, it's not enough to write your goal and have your intention. You also need the vibration to match. Otherwise you attract nothing. If you write your goal now and you say, my goal is to get a placement, the job of a manager in this company within 5 years, and meanwhile you are angry at the world, and you are resentful and hateful, do you think you're going to get the job? You are not going to get it. And if you get it, it's going to be in a most dissatisfying way. It's not going to help you at all. In order for you to attract anything good, you have to match its vibration. And you have to come to the point to recognize your vibration and change it at will. You use all your willpower. But say how? Dance, sing, watch comedies, eat ice cream, whatever it takes. Go to the gym and pump. Whatever it takes, bring yourself into a good state of mind. Because a peaceful state of mind, it's a healing state of mind. And this is what is going to bring you realization of your wishes, dreams, and goals. Not the arguing, and not the fighting, and not feeling sorry for yourself, or feeling that you are right and the other person is wrong. Now we have 4 weeks until the next full moon to learn these lessons and complete them. To have another hard look at ourselves and say, I'm going through this difficult experience now. Why is that so? Where am I going wrong? Because whatever experience you're going through, you created it through your mind. And say, where was I expecting something like that to happen to me? Where did I feel that I wasn't worthy, or the world is not a safe place, or whatever it is that I'm facing right now? I created it. So I have to heal and complete this lesson. And so I can move to spiritual empowerment, which is the next 6 months. I want to hear input. Now it's time for questions and answers.
So what happens if you don't?
Complete the lesson.
Stay in the rut. Stay in the hole.
Stay in the hole.
Stay in the hole.
You won't be able to move to the place of enlightenment and growth that is opening up for you. This opportunity, remember, in order for us to complete the lesson, we have to let go. In order for us, there are people right now that I know quite a few that are facing a problem. They are facing a situation in their lives. And what this full moon is telling us, the situation will resolve within the next 4 weeks. But you have to let go what you need to let go for that to happen. If you feel angry at the person, if you feel that they are unjust, that they are unfair, that they are taking advantage of you, all these things have to, if you are fearful of the person, all these things have to go.
So in other words,
You know.
you have to feel positive, even if it's a bad situation, you just
Yes.
have to see, yeah.
Yes. So the situation can change. You have to let go all that is not serving.
It is difficult, and you're right. I mean, I experienced it. I let it go, and I feel wonderful.
Much better.
But it's so difficult because sometimes you want to let it go, but it's the anger is inside of you. It's eating you alive. You just can't let it go, and you know you should because it's wrong, right? But yet you can't. It's just so difficult. It's very difficult.
It is, but that's why we say we had all these 6 months we've been working with that. And now we have these 4 last weeks. And the energies around us are pushing us in that direction.
So in other words, okay, can we write down every day positive affirmations?
Yes,
Yeah.
if you
These
stay
next 4
in this
weeks.
quiet state
Yeah.
of mind and you write positive affirmations, but don't say them with anger.
No.
The decrees you decree are very important, very important. Remember all the promises we have received in Joel 3:10 that I mentioned so many times. The advice that God gave before they were going to the battle. Let the weak say, I'm strong. Didn't say let the weak say, I'm weak. Or go and talk to their friends about their problems and their weaknesses. This is not, you don't enter battle declaring you are weak, or you are sick, or this person is so unfair, or this person is taking advantage of you. This is not the way to go into battle. Let the weak say, I'm strong. So you go into this battle, into this problem that we have right now, knowing that you are in your power. And your power doesn't mean I control you. In your power means I'm true to the best that is in me. I have faith in my spiritual forces. I gather my spiritual forces around me. I ask for the help of the angels. And I trust the best that is in me. I know I'm here for a purpose. And the purpose is not to be destroyed. It's not to be anybody's victim. The purpose is to be victorious. Look at your mountain, which is your challenge right now. And Jesus said, if you have faith as big as a mustard seed, you will tell the mountain, cast thyself into the sea. And verily I say unto you, it will get up and walk into the sea. And this again is symbology. Because a mountain is something permanent, something huge, and something immovable. And Jesus says right now in your life, you have something that is permanent. Maybe you have a severe health diagnosis, or you have a huge financial problem, or health problem, or relationship problem. And to you looks like a mountain. And I'm telling you that if you tell this mountain, get out of my life, it's going to go. But how is it going to happen? It's not going to happen if you go down on your knees and plead, and you're angry and depressed and say, why is this happening to me? It's going to happen when you go into the battle with the mind of a victor. Say, I am strong. And tell the mountain, I will defeat you. I'm stronger than you, and you are not going to beat me. That's the way to go, whatever it is. Whether it is a legal battle or a health battle or a relationship battle. Whatever it is, face it with his mind. That I have been given everything. I have been given dominion. In the Bible again, when God called Adam and he called all the animals and gave him dominion. And he told him, whatever you name them, so they shall be. That symbolizes that you have control over your experiences. Whatever you name them, that's what they're going to be in your life. And so if you face this mountain and you tremble with fear and it towers over you like the Tower of Babel, which means confusion, and you see this problem and you become confused and you lose your mind and you lose your power, you are lost. Right now, what we get, you have this mountain, you have this tower looming over you, you have this problem, you have to keep your mind around you, your wits. And you know you are not alone. There are spiritual forces who fight by your side. And you say, I gather my spiritual forces. And I ask for the help of the angels. And I know I'm not alone. Talk to the problem straight and say, you know something, I don't want you into my life. Go. I will fight you. I will win. You have no power over me. And what happens if you keep saying it and the mountain is there the next day and the day after? What do?
Keep saying it. Push.
Push. Pray until something happens. Don't give up.
Same kind of job.
It might take a long time.
I can imagine that. This is actually.
That's what we do. That's how we win. By getting into a winning state of mind, believing, of course, keep in mind that in all those secrets I'm telling you, you have to do it for the good of all involved. Whatever you are trying to accomplish, it has to be right and it has to be honest. And it has to be for the highest good of everyone involved. Never try to harm anyone. Never try to use those secrets to influence anybody's mind or influence anybody's life for bad, because it's going to turn against you. You are only allowed to use the spiritual secrets to create health, happiness, and plenty for all humanity. Not only for you, but for everybody else. And the more people that benefit out of what you ask, the faster it's going to come to you. You should never ever try to accomplish something that will harm someone, because it's going to turn against you. Now, Luciana.
Actually, this is something that has happened or is happening at work. We had a new person start back in November, and she was hired to be the assistant to the property manager. Now, before they hired her, I was the one that initially started the property manager, working with the property manager. Then they hired someone else because I got busy doing other things. Marissa and I worked very well together in that department. And when the property manager insisted that he wanted his own assistant, because Marissa was also an assistant to or executive assistant to the vice president. Anyway, Lord and behold, he got what he wanted, got his own assistant. So when she comes on board, her name is Lovey. I said, oh, Lovey Dovey. Wrong name. But anyway, she comes on board, and of course, Marissa and I are trying to train her, right? We thought, oh, this is great. We're going to train her exactly what she should do, right? So everything's going to run smoothly as it has been the last year and a half, whatever. Well, lovey-dovey, guess what? Didn't agree to that. Everything we told her to do, she'd go and complain to Alex, the property manager. Anyway, it created a lot of grief within the department. So Marissa also got into trouble. I got into trouble because she was going saying that we were doing things, like whatever she was telling him, we don't know. We do know that we got into trouble. We actually were called the troublemakers of the company. I said, imagine us being the troublemakers of the company. I said, I can't believe this. So finally I said to Marissa, I said, you know what, leave it alone. she's making mistakes, because I can see in a lot of her leases that she was doing, there were a lot of mistakes, whatever, she's making mistakes. I says, you know what, unfortunately, I hate to say this, I said, but give her enough rope to hang herself. She doesn't want our help, she's not appreciative. I said, what else can we do? And also we got into trouble because of whatever. Okay, fine. So I said, let it go. We let it go. Guess what? This week, and when I came back to work on Monday, I didn't mind going back to work, and I said, the only thing that I don't like going back to work today is I have to deal with Alex and Lovey. And I thought, why do I have to feel like that? I've been with the company for 20 years, and really, I shouldn't let it bother me. But anyway, I went to work. Then I was off Tuesday because I was sick. Wednesday, Marisa calls me. She's at home. We're not allowed to talk. Whatever the reason, but we're not allowed to talk. So she calls me at home. She said, guess what? She says, Lovey got into a lot of trouble today. I said, oh. I said, what happened? She says, well, Johnny, who is the vice president of the company, found out that a lot of leases were already signed, but a lot of mistakes on them. I said, well, that's too bad. I said, I'm sorry to hear that. I said, because I know how Alex can get, and Johnny, if they get nasty, right? Guess what? Marisa talks to Lovey, sits her down, and she told me, she says, I talked to her, and so she told her, she says, Lovey, she says, you refuse Lucy and myself's help. She says, why would you do that? So we're only trying to help you. See, she didn't see it as help. I don't know what she saw it as. Maybe
she thought you want to control her and putting her down,
Probably,
she didn't
right?
know what she was doing.
So Marisa told her, she says, and that's why I get along with Marisa, and God bless her. She could have gotten nasty. She said, I'm not going to help you anymore. No. She turned around. She says, you know what, Lovey? She says, both Lucy and myself are here to help you. If you need it, ask questions. We're not here to do anything to harm you in any way. We actually want you to be successful within the company, right? It's a very successful company. So she got her around to our side. You see? So Marisa could have said to her, what the heck is that? You caused a lot of grief for us. I'm not going to bother with you. No. She said, I didn't want her to think that we are like her, number one. And she said, I still want her to be successful. And I said, well, that was nice of you, and I'm glad I said you did that. So today, now that I'm talking to this woman, she's good. She is good. And I tried to talk to her one day. I went in her office, and as soon as I said, I need to talk to you. She was giving me a hard time. She wouldn't give me a document that I needed. And she was, holding off, later, and I needed the document. And so I went in, I says, to talk to her, I says, is there a problem with me that you're not wanting to give me the document? You know what she does? She calls Alex, her supervisor, property manager. She says, I think you better come to the office. Lucy needs to talk to you. I'm going, what? So that's how bad this person can get.
But the person turned around. This is the most important thing.
You know why? They're in my prayers.
With the prayers.
They're in my prayers.
Did you get reiki sometimes too from a distance?
Yes.
Yes. See, my point.
So it all, in the end, it works.
When you give positive energy to someone, what have I told you? Okay, everybody doesn't know reiki to send reiki energy to a problem person. But say the miracle prayer that I have taught you. You think of the person, say, I love you and I bless you, you love me and you bless me. Between us only love exists and only love is real. All else is an illusion, nothing is. And two things will happen. Either the person will completely change or the person will be removed out of your life. So she kept saying the prayer, the person changed. And not only they don't have the situation in their hands anymore, but they help a person improve their life too. And this is the beauty of spiritual wisdom, because you share it. You don't try to destroy. This is external power. I'll eat you. The bigger fish eats the smaller fish. Spiritual power says, no, I will make you as big as I am and even bigger. That's why we are here, to help each other. And the more people you help, the better you feel, the happier you feel, and the more empowered your life becomes.
That happened to me too with somebody, very similar. And it's funny because sometimes you can take one way or the other. But I think the anger root, it just drags you down more.
It drags you down and creates discord.
Yeah, it had the office, that department there,
It's
even with
toxic.
Marissa, because Marissa was her baby, because when she came on board almost 2 years ago, I was the one that trained her. I mean, she picked my brain like there's no tomorrow, but that was okay, and she became a fantastic assistant, you know, and she knew everything. And that's why we worked so well together, because if I didn't do it, she did it. It was just like, we were so in sync. Then we all of a sudden, this was our baby. Our baby all of a sudden was being disrupted, and we didn't like it. But we kept quiet, we let it go.
Yeah.
And we said, okay, time will come when things will change, and it did.
I know, I had a lady, she was one of the managers that reported to me, so we were working on this audit project, so she had her desk, and then we gave her another desk so she could be close to that team, and she would split between the two. So there wasn't enough space on the floor, and then we needed that desk. Now, what happened was, I guess, I mean, I did it by email, because I was just so stressed, I had a lot of work, as opposed to saying, and I had asked her many times, do you need this desk? No, I prefer to be over here. So didn't think it was a big deal. And so one day, I guess she got all upset, she picked up her stuff, went back to her other desk, and she wouldn't talk to me. And I thought, what did I
That's so
do?
childish.
And my manager just said, I don't know, I think she's got a problem, you know, is it the time of life or something? I don't know, she just was not talking to me. So I called her in the office and I said, Norma, you know, like, have I done something? I really, you know, like, I just want to talk it out. And she was like this. Now, I've been there 16 years, so let's just say this was maybe 14 years, okay, that I've known her, and we never had a problem, and she would send me funny stories, inspirational stuff, like very spiritual person, like it's not like somebody who is a bit different. So, I don't know what happened, I'm the one starting to cry, right, I'm her manager, which is like embarrassing, but it hurt me so much, because I tried to explain to her that yes, sometimes we feel slighted, but I said, I want you to understand that my intention was never to hurt you. I would never, like, I really wanted her to know that. Like, if I slighted you in a way, it was maybe the situation, but I would never hurt you, you know, and I respect you. So even with the tears and everything, she was nothing. So I said, okay, fine. I went home, my husband goes, why are you upset? Who cares? You know, I said, but it bothers me. Like, I like to work, we're a small family, like to work
Well, you're
nicely
working
with
with
people,
them,
yeah.
Every day.
I know, so I did the push, you know, I
Yes.
kept on praying, I said, okay, I'm not gonna change who I am. I'm, you know, if she feels that way, she's going to soon enough see that this is wrong, right? Now, we're the best of friends again.
See,
So she sends me inspirational stories and, you know, things like that, and it's like nothing ever happened. So I don't know, like it was
there's,
just
you know,
bizarre.
there's nothing, you never ever lose by sending love to the other person.
I never
Because
changed
love will
with her.
come back to you. Whatever you goes out around, whatever goes around comes around. Isn't it? Whatever you send out will come to you. And so by sending love to the other person, you can never lose. Their spirit, at the level of the spirit knows. The spirit knows that you wish them well. The personality will not know. The person, if you try to talk to them, they might turn their back or insult you. But if you talk directly to the spirit, you can even stay quietly and meditate and say, Spirit of so-and-so, I love you. I send you love. I wish you well. And I only mean to create love and peace and harmony between us. And say that day in and day out, day in and day out. And don't give up. Keep praying and keep pushing. It will happen.
I think she
You
was
would say.
touched because we wanted to make her manager, and it took 3
Yeah.
years. And so I said to my manager, I really want to promote her. So I think she realized, oh my God, it was so mean, and she thanked him, and he said, no, it wasn't me, it was Terry who wanted this to go through.
Yeah.
So I think it's, you know, you stay on track, but sometimes even if you go a little bit further for that person, I think maybe you pray a little bit harder for them too.
Yeah, you keep
You know?
praying. And don't forget the blessings will come to you too. And so whatever situation you have, suppose you have a situation at work where people are unfair to you, or a private situation, whatever, write a letter about it. Write it down and say, write even, as I told you many times for the people who don't know, write a letter to the angels of the person. For instance, say, dear my beloved angels of my mother, so and so, I love you, I bless you. I'm so grateful that this person is in my life. I'm so grateful for all the lessons they bring. I have these feelings, I have this situation that I wish to see differently. Like I have this conflict with this person that I would like to heal. Please help me. I leave it into your hands. Find ways to heal this situation in a manner that will satisfy everyone involved. Because you want always, I want what is for the best and the highest of all involved, including myself. And then put your hands on it and pray. Give it energy. And put in a corner, cover it with another paper, cover it with a crystal, and let the angels do the work. We have seen so many cases being resolved within less than 3 days. Conflicts that would go to court just because one, and you say, I see them fighting and I'm in the middle. One person can make all the difference. One person in a family praying can change the dynamic for the whole family. It is good if the families pray together, but sometimes it is not possible to happen. One person can make the difference. Keep praying for every member of your family and keep seeing them in your mind's eye the way you expect them to be. Healthy, happy, successful, living and fulfilled life. This is the best way. And when you are quiet, talk to the Spirit and say, I love you. I only wish you well. Between the spirits, remember we take a face, we take a form, we take a physical body, personality, to serve us in this lifetime, to give us certain lessons. But at the spirit world, we know we came here with certain souls to learn our lessons. So after the lesson is over, after we die, we take off the costume. Between spirits, it's only love. But the secret to success, the challenge we face is to remember while we are still alive that this is a game. This is a play. None of this is real. All this drama, the conflict, oh, how dare they treat me like this. This is not reality. This is just a play. The reality is that between spirits there is love.
Sorry, I'm being too verbose.
That's okay.
You touched on exactly what I was thinking now, and that is how do you, if you have conflict with somebody, how can you speak to their higher self?
Yeah.
And how do you do that? Do you just...
I stay quietly, either write a letter, dear higher self of so-and-so, I really love you, I bless you, I'm grateful you came into my life, you gave me lessons. You made me appreciate more what I have in my life. But I would like to solve this situation in a peaceful way that will satisfy all parties involved. And let's work together to create harmony and peace.
Letters Jenna writes letters all the time.
Yeah?
Thanks, Mom. I sorry.
Those letters, believe me, they are very, very, very effective. Very effective.
I'm surprised you didn't say it.
Do you burn them after?
I do.
Same day?
Say, oh yeah.
One
Right
day,
then?
So, Mom,
one day, she's in the kitchen, she's in the kitchen, and all of a sudden you see her storm into the front door. Because she's gonna burn them because the back was too windy, so she's gonna, then you see her back in the kitchen, right? And she storms again.
I always joke that I burned a tree last year this time. When I was applying for my job, I burned a tree because I wrote about 100 letters to everybody and everything. But
Yeah.
it works really
It
well
works.
with conflict, especially when
It
I
works.
really
People who
engine
do
French
that
really
will
bad at the end.
testify.
The letters
So
really
you
help.
write a
We're
letter
really
to
good
the
now.
person that you have trouble with?
Yes, yeah, yeah. You write a letter to the higher self. Writing letters, when you put it in writing, when you put it in writing,
For them to be successful.
yes, you want them to be successful, to be happy, to have